Autism Sprinter. Think equity. Yeah. It's time to give the power back to the people. We're fighting to make our beliefs equal. Look at the failed policies and how they treat you. We got strength, yeah, we're far from feeble. This is for anyone with autism or a disability. Time to unite, show them how strong our will can be. Move readily, we're promoting equity. A non-profit platform, that's the recipe. Now throw your hands up, we finally got a winner. Think equity with Autism Sprinter. Now throw your hands up, we finally got a winner. Think equity with Autism Sprinter. It's time to make a change. It's time to stand up for what we believe in. Equality and equity across the board. No matter your race, nation, or creed, disability, or your needs. Yes, it gotta be equal. It gotta be right. This is the platform and the place to do it. Yeah, let's go.
Good afternoon, mi gente. How are you? My name is Jahaira. I am the founder and executive director here at Autism Sprinter. And as you guys know, a lot of the work that we do here is connecting families to other organizations and other community activists and organizers so that families can get connected, so they can have a sense of stability and making sure that they make face connections with the people that are in their state, trying to make sure that we are stabilized as parents, right? That we have the resources, that there's no gatekeeping of information. And most importantly for me, I like to get connected with people who are boots to the ground, people that are still grounded in community, that they understand what the community needs and what the community requires. But what's different about this person, and what I love about this person, is that she came in a game and she was not playing about her mission. She was here to tap into the Haitian community. As we all know, that many of our community members who are undocumented, who are not from this country, are coming here and they're navigating the most murky waters in existence. If systems are horrible to us and we're here and we, whether we have our citizenship or not, we know that just us trying to get the resources that we require are hard. Imagine people who are here new to this country trying to understand, one, the language, two, understand how to get the resources, three, how to get health insurance, how to go through the educational system. It's been hard. And I think that we've all seen within all the administration and all the changes that we're seeing that we have a lot of vulnerable people in our community who need our help. And what's so special about Cynthia is that she is tapping into that community. She is going into her community. She's stabilizing families by giving them the resources that they need, and to be, most importantly, be active in their journey of their child's healthcare, their child's education system, and also being super active in community. So without further ado, I want to bring you guys the queen of all queens, Cynthia Laine, and we're going to talk about why she started Black Autism Coalition, what led her here, and what she's working on with her organization to support our community.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Jahaira. Thank you for the opportunity. And I want to say hello to everyone that's watching us today. It's such a privilege. Every time I'm among one of the powerful women in Massachusetts, I feel so blessed. And I heard everything you were saying, and I'm like, oh, wow. I feel very special. But, I totally appreciate your recognition. And just like you mentioned, we're just out there in the community doing the work. Because a lot of the times, you've been there yourself and still doing this thing. And until you get to the groundwork and meet with the people and see their needs, that's how much you can help them. So again, my name is Cynthia Laine. I am a mom of 4 boys. Every time I say 4 boys, everybody's like, what?
You look good though, girl. You look good.
I tend to learn how to manage, raising them with myself, my husband, and then I also have my mother that lives with me. So we are a little village ourselves. And out of my 4 boys, I have 2 boys that are on the spectrum. I have Ryan, who's on his way to 14, so he's a teenager. And then I have also Luke, He's 12 years old, nonverbal. So it's been quite a journey. So we are here to talk about our journey and also motivate other parents, and also look for other parents that are looking for resources, especially as you mentioned in the Haitian community. We know there's a big lack of resources passing around, especially the language barrier. Now, I'm so grateful with people like yourself and so many other organizations that I collaborate with that's bringing these people aboard, and I'm able to help them and then navigate the system the way they're supposed to.
Right. So, what, outside of being an autism mom, what drove you and what made you say, I have to start my own nonprofit? I have to bring it to community. Like, what was your burning desire to do what you have to do? Because although we know that our kids are the reason why we're here, but there's also a reason why you went that route. Can you tell us, like, why did you get to that route of wanting to create a space for your, to create a very deeply rooted coalition within a very marginalized group of people?
So my story is a long story, so I'm gonna shorten it down for everyone to understand. And this was not, I would say, one of my dreams. Okay, so I was working in the financial industry, and I was having my career going, and the goal was just like, to level myself up to the top. That's what we were working on. But I had a call from God, and many times God call us for a mission, and then we're like, no, we'll do it later. Let me do this after. And I didn't want to be Jonah eating by the well. No, I didn't want that to happen. And to make a long story short, I really had to sit down and have this conversation with God and said, hey, what do you want me to do? And he started placing me into places where I was listening to mothers, fathers that was saying to me, I felt alone. And I remember these feelings. I know you mentioned, like, a lot of the times we do it because of our children, but as I was talking to them, I was having these feelings back, like the time that I didn't know where to go. I would call a nurse that has no idea about what my son is going through and, like, help me, because I didn't know how autism works. So the more we were seeing that into our community, we saw there was a need. We had to create an organization where people can reach out. And as we know, we're in the United States, we want to do everything the legal way, the proper way. And, Black Autism Coalition did not start just like just having the organization. Going through, paperwork within the state. We started way back into COVID, where we started working with mothers behind the scene when, Zoom first started out, and we were sitting out with these parents, and these parents found like a comfort area, a comfort. Every time we were sitting down, we were talking, drinking wine, and saying what our kids did. And the more I was hearing this, and I was like, I have to create this place where people can come in and feel comfortable. And since we've been doing that, we've been very grateful, because we have met so many amazing parents. And sometimes they say the words to me, and I'm like, I don't know why y'all thanking me so much. I just want to give what I didn't have. If I didn't find Julia Hira, and we have Raquel in the community, we have Asha, all these other moms, I wouldn't be where I am. So I want to give it back the same way with other moms. And we are glad that now we have some powerful moms that are stepping up because of that leadership. So that's all it all started. Like I said, it's a long story, but I kind of like sum it up for you guys so you can have an idea. And I want to tell people that are out there too, like, when God placed something in your heart, don't make no doubt about it. It's about go. He will guide people into your way with whatever you do.
Yeah, that's so true. And it's so good that you say that, because essentially that's how I started Autism Sprinter too. I started with feeling alone and doing all this by myself. Sometimes my family not understanding, right? You feel very isolated. And then you found comfort in talking to other parents or other families, and learning from other parents, because sometimes, like, what people don't understand, what parents and like Cynthia and I learn, we don't necessarily learn by the doctors and the providers. We've learned this and how to get the resources and understanding certain things through other parents. Then what we've learned in this process is kind of like what Cynthia's saying, that we've learned that there's committees. There's a lot of places that you can have a seat at the table to help shape policy and legislation within the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And this goes from not just from talking to parents, but also saying, I want to get involved past these smaller spaces. I want to now know why my Medicaid is not supporting more hours of ABA. Now I want to know, well, I don't have Medicaid. Is there a different supplemental income that I can get to help me pay for, my premiums or co-pays to see specialists? So you start beginning to like get this wealth of knowledge that you just want to make sure that you bring back down to the people who are not hearing this, because there might not be in a space where people are teaching them this, right? And I think that we can all agree that if you don't ask these questions and you don't know, nobody's going to tell you. And so here's Cynthia and I like, oh, we got this. Boom, we're posting this on Facebook. Everybody got to know now.
That's right. That's right. Because if we look back, when we first got our diagnosis, nobody was telling us anything. It's just like, I felt like it was a secret world that you have to get your way into it. And then one thing too, I didn't want to be that mom that was known for only, oh yes, I'm raising a child with autism. And, I give it up to our experiences because they speak louder than any other things. But if we don't have the knowledge, we have seen this over and over at the table. If you don't know your stuff, and sometimes I'll be like, if I don't know something, I'll call you Hira. I'm like, hey, what do you know about this? And she's like, this goes this way, this way, this way. And then when you go, it's a different tone you get, because they're like, oh, we didn't expect you to know this. So it's very important, as we are parents, we're raising our children, we got to get the knowledge out there. And there's so many resources. And what I'm upset about is these resources are not getting to community that needs them. They are not getting into communities that needs them. And there are times that, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be in a lot of trainings, I'm the only Black Haitian in that training, and I gotta come up with my accent, my Haitian accent, and ask questions. But we want more people than that. And I had to raise my voice many times and say, why are we not having more Black and Haitians and brown into this? And then everybody's like, yeah, we have more work to do. So that's why whenever we get our hands into something, we blast it out so parents can participate into this, so they can empower more, and then they can advocate more for their children and also their families.
Right. And how long have you had the Black Autism Coalition, and what is it exactly you do with your Black Autism Coalition?
So it's going to be our second year. Second year. So we did it April 1st, the day before Autism Awareness, because we wanted to make the statement that we want to bring awareness as well. So we're going to be celebrating on April 1st. And don't worry, I have something planned, and definitely we know Autism Spectrum is going to be there. But like I said, it did not start like that. I started as a mom doing support group. And I remember before COVID, we were doing support group with the Haitian mothers, and there was no support group in the Haitian community. There was none. And when we threw out our flyers, people were just coming up. And then, I started it with a mom, and, she's doing wonderful work herself, but that's how the journey started. Now, each person are in their different way, but we are working with families that have children on the spectrum. So, like I said, it's second year for us, but it's been a long time that we've been doing the work out there.
Wow. And so you offer support groups, you do events.
Yes. So one of the things,
listen, guys, she be in these streets. She be in these. I'm like, oh my goodness, she just my Black Autism Coalition is in the building. Okay.
I have been asked so many times, do I sleep? And before I even go to that, a lot of the things that we do every third Saturday, we do our support group, and that support group is just us as mothers coming in. I have majority of Haitian mothers that are in there, but it's a mixture as well too. And now we have our new mothers that's coming, from either Chile, from Haiti, or Brazil. Now they're part of this group, and you should have seen how they love this little community that we created. Last week we did movie night, and then we were learning about autism, and so many mothers were into tears. They were saying to themselves, oh my God, I remember back in Haiti, they told me that my child could not graduate with the other kids, knowing that I'm in a country where even he's nonverbal, he can have his cap and gown and then standing up there and I'm cheering him up. That's an amazing thing to see. So we have those support group that we offer. We have an emotional wellness class that's about to close. Every time we're about to close this class, they're like, we want more, we want more.
That's right.
We did it with our new arrived families because we know what they were going through. Being in the hotel, they were very grateful for having food, for having a place to stay. But at the end of the day, the families were just like going crazy because every day they're just looking at each other. They were people that were always working, making ends meet. They're not people that want to rely on the government more. And then now, like, they're finding themselves. So they were having different thoughts. So myself and Ebony, which I give a big shout out to, we got together. I said, hey, listen, I know Haitian Creole. You, you know how mental health work. So you're gonna come up with everything. And then I was like, I'm gonna translate everything, and then we're gonna bring it to the families and get them thinking. And it's with tears in my eyes last week how they were saying, we love this class so much. Now they are empowered to have their own little group. Now they can create their little things going on, and we are so excited about that. And we do other events in the community. I live out in Fitchburg, so one of the things that we try to do is work. My kids love basketball. We have created a community with basketball. I know Autism Spectrum was part of it. It's something every year. It's something we plan to do every year because I want to integrate my kids into my community because we plan to live here for a long time. I want them to know Luke as Luke, not Luke as being an autistic individual or Ryan. So we created that community, not even talking about autism, just like, hey, families, let's come in, let's shoot some hoops together, let's play against each other. And then, I'm grateful with my dad too. We do a lot of workshop at the church as well too, where families are coming in, learning about basic rights. We work with mass advocates, which would be which is also a big collaborator of ours, and where they come in and bring the resources, they bring the knowledge and stuff. So anything that we can do. Last night, it was like around like 9:30. We were working with families, and I want to give a big shout out to Millet. She said, oh my God, the load is too heavy on your back, Cynthia. I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna help these families find jobs because I know your class is gonna be ending, and then now they're gonna create their little community, but they want something to be able to have in their hands. So we do all type of things, from like scanning a document with a parent to all the way to doing therapy with them, because that's how it is. That's how our community gets built up, and that's how parents start getting comfortable. Because when it comes to the diagnosis, as we know, it's not something comfortable, especially in the Haitian community, to discuss. I have parents where their children are in needs of services. They can't get those services because the mom says this, the dad says this. If you don't meet them at their level to kind of like understand where they at, so you can bring them where they need to be, so their children get the resources that they need, we're gonna be down. But those are all the different type of stuff. It seems like a lot, but I just want to know everybody to know, as a lot as it is, I've learned from you, right? We gotta take time for ourselves, right? I gotta get my sleep on. I gotta spend time with my boys. I gotta spend time on my marriage and my son as well, because those are the stuff that once we get all filled up with them, we can continue to do the work that we are doing.
And you can't, it's kind of like what we talk about. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
And so it's important to acknowledge, right, that you have moms, momvacates, dadvocates, parentvocates in this community that are going hard, guys, right? And the information's there. It's a matter of being participate, get the information you need. If you still have questions, continuously engage, right? Go to trainings. There's like so much trainings that you can do through the Federation of Children with Special Needs. There's so many places here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, guys, that you can attain free information. And all you need is to be connected to two parents like this. It'll say, hey, oh, okay, we know about mass families. We know about the Federation. We know about all these councils that are in need of faces like yours to say, okay, we didn't even think about the element of being undocumented and navigating autism in the educational and the healthcare world. So now there's a big need in a conversation that I'm loving, because I know that Cynthia has been part of the conversation, that I know that she's sitting at tables to ensure that say, hey, like, yes, we have all these issues, but what about our undocumented families that are here, do not speak the language? I mean, we've gotten to a point that whatever happened to translation services in our healthcare providers, they've removed that years ago. And now we're in a wave that they need it. It should have never went away in the first place anyway, right? But it's just, there's so much work to be done. And it's, we need more parents like Cynthia. We need more me's. We need more Ashas. We need more Ebony's. We need more Raquel's, because they need to hear from us. They need to hear from our lived experience and how to render better services to us. And even support us, funding stream wise, and helping support us to support our communities. And it's just a lot, guys. It's a lot, and sis, I'm gonna need you to get some sleep, because you've been in these Commonwealth streets. And what I love about it is that you're still passionate. You haven't lost that fire, because I think a lot of us will lose that fire because the work is heavy. It's like what she said to you, Melanie said to you, it's a heavy it's heavy, because what a lot of people don't understand, parents like Cynthia and I, we carry that with us. Mm-hmm. And I promise you, when we're advocating, we're not just advocating for our children. We remember conversations that we had with you. Yes. We're remembering hearing stories, or when we've created our support groups and taking in and absorbing that in, that when we're in a space that we're like, oh, have you thought about A, B, C, and D? And they're kind of like, oh, well, we've never heard about that. Well, in community, this is what's happening in community.
And one thing I want to add with what you said is just, there are times people don't understand, because, when we are out there, yes, you're seeing those beautiful pictures that we are thinking about the wonderful work we are doing. But behind the scene, I've had meetings that I can literally tell you, last week I was in a meeting, I'm dealing with my own issues with my son. I had to hold on my tears while I'm advocating for another mom, for her son. And many people don't get to see that, because they're always like, oh, you're such a powerful woman. But there are times I'm holding on tears, because I'm like, my son is in need of this. He's not able to have it, but I still got to get up and fight for this mom, because it's the way that we have to do it together. She doesn't have anybody, so I got to stick up for her child. And there's a lot of things like people don't see, and we hear this a lot. They complaining so much, you know what I mean? Why they always wanting this, or they needing this, they need. And everybody's suffering the same thing, but they don't understand a lot of the families. There are things like that they are going through with that. It's just it's not the same. They saying it's the same. It's not the same. When a mom doesn't speak English, and then someone is kind of like cut chase with them, if somebody did not know the system, that's gonna say, no, that's not the right way to do it. Right. It could have go a whole different right corner. So it's very important that people, as they see us, yes, we are powerful women, but at the end of the day, we're standing strong behind our tears. We're standing strong behind our cries, At the end of the day, we are mothers, we are wife, okay? At home, we are brothers, we are sisters, and all these, family members, they are all in need of us. So we are just doing the best that we can. So we appreciate a lot of, people stepping up and coming out and collaborating, but I just don't want people to wipe away, because a lot of times I get like, you're so powerful, you're amazing. I'm like, yeah, I am, but I cry too. You know what I mean?
I cry actually more than you think. Yeah, it's true, Cynthia, it's true. And I promise you guys, it gets better. Believe it or not, it gets better. As your children get older, the fight is a little bit different, because as Cynthia's talking about before we even came live, we're talking about a huge disconnect of when your child goes from, school age and, finishes high school. Now we're talking about adulthood. And guys, there's resources, but very limited. There's more resources for the younger population navigating special education and, services. This resources change a lot when your child becomes an adult. And, there's a lot of work that has to get done. Cynthia talked about she's going to bring more workshops and training to teach families about the difference about guardianship and decision making. So you're going to hear a lot from that. And I'm excited to hear that because it is so true. And so, guys, you have two parents here, that are trying to bring all what we've taken in to you guys so that you guys are ready to rock and roll and put that, superwoman cape on and say, we're not doing this with my kids. And we're not going to do that with my friends' kids. You're not going to do that with my neighbors' kids. We're a village and we are advocates, and we want to ensure that what your child gets, another child gets, and it shouldn't be dictated about numbers, what monies you don't have. That's not how it works. We're not going to pick and choose who gets what and who doesn't get what, because that's not how equity works. Right? Sometimes we have to invest more on people who need it, and that's okay. And we're trying to figure out all those systems out as COVID exposed the ugly truth to a 10th power. And I think that although I'm not happy how COVID happened, but I'm happy that COVID, truthfully, finally, so many people were able to expose the ugly truth about poor healthcare systems, very poor educational systems. And this doesn't mean that, if you're living in poverty, that, your educational system might be different than rich people. There is some rich people problems, believe that. There's there's school districts that have more money than our kids, and their situation is going to be different. Yeah. Does that impact our kids over here? Absolutely. But there's a major disconnect. And that's why I'm excited, Cynthia, that you're here. And guys, please make sure you follow her and you find her. Look, she came on there and she gave you her phone number. How many people come on live and they're giving you their phone number? Typically, they give you an email.
Yeah.
This person's giving you their direct contact to letting you know, call me. Let's talk. I got you.
Because all we want to do is help the parents with the resources. So that's why that connection. Sometimes people like you said, why are you giving your phone number? You shouldn't give your phone number out. The reason of that, we want to connect with you. We want to make sure how can we help you. And there are times I might not be finding all the answer for you or your family, but I know someone. That's why we get ourselves in every table that we can. And, I am grateful for being part of the Massachusetts Disability Council as a member in there. Grateful, being in the Disability Law Center, all these places that we're getting ourselves, it's because of you guys. Because we want, whenever there's a need for our family, we can reach out and they can guide us better. Because there are some resources, I don't know if it has to do with law. I don't know. But if you want me to talk to you about, things that's going on in the Haitian church, how to come in front of a pastor, I can do that.
I'll do that in my sleep.
I had a mom, actually, a hire that I was talking to yesterday, and then she was telling me how, like, she's in church and, she's taking her son to walk, from the front to the back of the church, just so he can calm him down a little bit. And someone came to him and came to both of them and say that you should not do that. And she's like, I remember you, Cynthia. I looked at her in her face like you would say, I belong here. If I don't belong here, then I'm going to pack up my things and then I'm going to go somewhere else because my son can walk up and down. It doesn't matter if a preacher is mad or not. And those are like the different things that we are doing, because one of the work that I'm doing with the Crocker Fellowship is changing a little bit the Haitian church, because there shouldn't be no way a parent go to church after a long week, okay? A long week of your child yelling, screaming, kicking at you. And then, And that's all out of love, because that's part of who they are, right? And then when we come to a place to worship, for someone to say our children don't belong there, we're changing the game. I was like,
Yeah.
there's no. And it starts with my church, right? Because I want everybody to hear this. My dad is a pastor. And I said to my dad, and he was so grateful about that. I said, before I go and change everybody else's house, we got to change our house here. And the house here is the church we have in Lawrence. And, we cannot wait to share that project with you guys that we've been working for so long. And I'm very grateful that I was chosen for it, because I was like, you know what, this is a place that we want parents to feel happy to come, not saying like, okay, we want why people are staring at my child, why people are so shocked that he screamed. They need to be used to that. And those are like the work that we are doing in the community. Like I said, I'm always very grateful to be around you guys, and thank you for everything that you yourself doing, because I have to say you have been my mentor and taught me so much. If I'm bold, when I'm bold like this, it's like all your Hira talking. So I appreciate your leadership and all the wonderful work that you are doing with the parents. So any families that are listening, if like a Haitian families that have hard time with the language, navigating the system, we will help them, and we will meet them at the level and give them everything that they need, as long as we know. And if we don't know it, we're gonna find it and
find out. We're gonna call. She's gonna call me. I'm gonna call her. I'm like, hey girl, like, do you know? Oh, we're gonna get some numbers for you. Believe that. Direct numbers too, not somebody's, secretary. We're gonna bring you right to the source, like to the person who needs to answer those questions. Absolutely. Absolutely. But guys, I appreciate it, Cynthia. I love you endlessly. Please contact Cynthia if you're interested, whether it's donating to her organization, you want to participate, volunteer, because
yes, I need a lot of volunteers. Cynthia gonna do all the work with her staff. So
yes, please.
We are looking, because we are getting more and more families, and anybody, and I know there are like college students that are out there that wants to volunteer. Please reach out, like whatever way that we can collaborate, and other organizations too. There's so many great organizations that are out there, and I always like to collaborate. And one thing that I always do on every presentation, all of you guys are in my presentation, because I was like, I collaborate with Autism Sprinter, I collaborate with Space, I collaborate with Mass Advocate, because I want to get around people that know the system, that can help me better serve my family. So feel free, I'm not saying all collaboration are the best, right? But we know there are some great ones, and we're looking for the great ones.
That's right. And with that being said, guys, you guys have a good afternoon. Please make sure you find her on social media, all social media platforms. In addition to that, make sure you follow my sis. Yes. Follow her, because I promise you will get a flyer for all type of resources. You will find the information. And again, there's no gatekeeping. We are the community of no gatekeeping. I promise you. And she is, let's see, Karen said she's great. She's absolutely amazing. And I think that I would love for you guys to follow her, support her initiative, because she came in here, and when I'm telling you guys, from the first time I met her, I knew that she was a mom on a mission, and nobody was going to stop her mission, because she was determined to say, I'm going to give back to my community based on my experience, and I'm going to make sure that nobody goes through what I've gone through. And we need more people like that in our community, because we know they're going to be loyal to, they're going to go to back for you. And if they can't, they're going to connect you with people that can. And that's what we need more of in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So you guys have a good afternoon. I'll see you guys around these streets. I love you, Cynthia, and bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. And I say hello to the Autism Sprinter family. Amazing family to be in. The same way y'all following me, make sure you do the same thing. Autism Sprinter, need that like button. We need to share this information. I am so sick and tired of 5 people watching these live, or 2 people or 3 people. These lives supposed to have more and more families. So whoever's watching, make sure you share to every groups that you can. And that's how families are being empowered. That's how they find the resources. And I'm very grateful that you're doing all these resources. Everybody's coming in. They are out there. So whenever you see that, share. So it was a pleasure. Love you, girl.
All right. Bye, guys. All right, guys. See you guys later. I hope you appreciate it. Please follow my sis. I need you to follow my sis, like right now. Bye.
Autism Sprinter. Think equity. Yeah. It's time to give the power back to the people. We're fighting to make our beliefs equal. Look at the failed policies and how they treat you. We got strength, yeah, we're far from feeble. This is for anyone with autism or a disability. Time to unite, show them how strong our will can be. Move readily, we're promoting equity. A non-profit platform, that's the recipe. Now throw your hands up, we finally got a winner. Think equity with Autism Sprinter. Now throw your hands up, we finally got a winner. Think equity with Autism Sprinter. It's time to make a change. It's time to stand up for what we believe in. Equality and equity across the board. No matter your race, nation, or creed, disability, or your needs. Yes, it gotta be equal. It gotta be right. You know this is the platform and the place to do it. Yeah, let's go.